Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going even better. Today I wanted to talk about something very important. And it's something I touched on in my last video. And in my last video I talked about how narcissists rank their supply. Literally. Meaning, if they have 5 or 6 possible supply options or targets, they will put these individual targets through certain phases of treatment, just to see how they will react. And they either make a mental note or they may actually write down where you are in or where you rank in the narcissist's mind and life of being a good source of supply or a bad source of supply. I mentioned in my last video how on an episode of MTV's Catfish, one of the individuals caught scamming or catfishing several people. It was found that this individual responsible for all of this kept detailed records of where they had these targets at in the variety of stages of manipulation that they were putting them through. Such and such is already saying they love me. Such and such sent me money. I argued with such and they forgave my apology after I treated them poorly. And the point of this is the narcissists in your personal one-on-one life do this as well. Along with narcissists in high-up positions. And that have great influence over a great many lives. You see, there is something very, very important to grasp and understand. When you met the narcissist that you eventually dated for a long period of time, or sadly you ended up marrying them. When you first met this narcissist, you really need to understand they were also talking with several people. Please understand it for what it is. Even if you think it's not possible. This was likely happening to you and your relationship with the narcissist. But what this narcissist was doing was seeing who was going to go the furthest. Who was going to allow themselves to be disrespected and still come back for more. Who wouldn't question the fast pace of the love bombing stage. And they are constantly weighing you against one another. Though you don't even know this other person exists. You think, wow, I met this really wonderful awesome person. And things are going so well. They are paying attention to you like no one ever has. And you for once in your life feel special. And that's another thing. They look for people that are love-starved. Which is more and more common these days because of how things are in the world. But the question is, who is love-starved the most? They are weighing these things out. Because here's the thing. Even with someone with a together family can and at times do fall for these narcissists' lies and manipulation. However, this person with a together life and family, they might snap out of things sooner rather than later. And I'm careful to say might. Because there have been some of these people that sadly have gone the distance with the narcissist. And got tangled up beyond belief and they regretted every second being with the narcissist once they realized who and what they were dealing with. However, how much an individual is love-starved is something that is weighed in the narcissist's mind. Because they know, the more love-starved someone is, the more of a chance they have getting what they want. Which is supply. And to seize control over your life. Here's the thing. In this show Catfish, you hear a certain theme over and over from a lot of these disturbed people that are playing with others' lives. They said they did it because it was fun. Then they with dead eyes. Just grin and laugh. Totally disconnected from anything human. Just very demon-like. You see. Narcissists want control over you. Because making you run around like a rat in a box is entertainment for them. One of my subscribers mentioned that narcissists are sadists. And that is a correct statement. You see, narcissists figure out early on That they don't get a normal feeling of happiness or joy that you and I might get. When we do something kind for someone, we are by and large doing so because we just want to do something nice. However, I will point out, one thing codependents should watch about themselves is doing something for someone expecting love in return. Because this is a bad way to try to have a relationship. However, with that being said, if you do something nice, let's say, you help out someone that is in a wheelchair get through a door. You are doing this not because you want to get something from the situation. You are doing this because you really and genuinely feel bad for this person and want to help. A narcissist doesn't help just to help. They help because they want others to see what so-called nice of a person they are. And this will help them gain trust with others. And for others to see them as normal, kind and helpful, instead of manipulative, evil, and wicked. Where we walk away feeling happy, we put a smile on someone's face. The narcissist walks away thinking about what that particular interaction means and how they can use that interaction to get deeper into a target's life and gain narcissistic supply. The narcissist doesn't have the same feelings as you and I. Even though we've been through so much pain and so much misery, we can still feel. We can still laugh. And we can still experience real joy. The narcissist cannot experience such things. So their goal is to day and night and day take you and others like you down. So if their mission is to take all of these people down, they must have a strategy, right? They must think about how and what they are doing. And if it's working right? Well, the answer is they do. And so do those that are narcissists in the upper levels of society. How much will the masses take? Can I promise them the world and not deliver? Only to gaslight them about such promises that were made. And then see if they are still coming back for more. And sadly people do. For the most part. Because the truth is we are all love-starved to one degree or another. Just some more than others. And in different areas. And the narcissists that are in high up levels of society know how to tap into that. When they see the divorces rates and how they are filed. This likely tells the narcissists that are at the top levels of society if their gaslighting, lies and projection are working. Again I ask. Relationships are a complete mess these days. But no one turns around and asks. Is there someone or someone's responsible for this? Is there? You see, a narcissist in a one-on-one situation can easily over time break up a couple. They might gain one of the individual's trust. Then they will slowly undermine their spouse and their relationship with their spouse. To get them to second-guess their entire relationship. Thinking they can leave this person that actually loves them. And that somehow if they do, life will be one big party to enjoy. Only to realize in the end they were swindled and lied to. Well, if this individual narcissist can do all of this to one couple, they can successfully break them up and dismantle their family life. Isn't it possible for narcissists that are in high up positions to do this to millions of couples? And when you hear about these polls being taken about the happiness and unhappiness of this grouping of people, and the depression of that grouping of people, though there are real people interested in such data, could narcissists that are in high up positions, could they be using such data to see and know if what evil manipulation they are trying to run is working or not? So you think this narcissist came into your life, befriended your spouse, turned them against you, your marriage broke up, and that's it? No. There was a process involved. No matter if they wrote it down or not. They were purposely bringing this person that you loved through hoops and phases. And making at least a mental note of things along the way. Which would let them know if it was okay to go on to the next phase of things or not. That narcissist that broke you and your spouse up had a formula they followed. Yes. That's right. Things didn't just accidentally happen and line up just right. The narcissist tested and engineered what ended up happening. over a long drawn-out process of getting your buy-in that they really have you and your spouse's best interests at heart. There are many people that say, "Oh, I thought it was great that my spouse made a new friend." Then years later, once you put the pieces of what happened together, you realize and understand this new friend successfully over time turned your spouse against you. And no. The day this new person met your spouse, they were sizing them up and making notes, even if they were only mental notes. But notes along the way. What things make your spouse insecure? What things does your spouse like about you? What things about you bother your spouse? Even if they are small. If the narcissist tries to sell them a dream, will they bite the bait? Have you ever thought about what it would be like to date someone else? They might ask. Is this just a harmless question, or is it data gathering and getting someone to bite the bait? If they say, "Well, I don't know," or a pause of any kind, they know they have this person. If they answer firmly, "Though my spouse isn't perfect, I know I love my spouse very much and they love me, as I'm not perfect as well. No. I've never thought about anyone else," the narcissist might press things a bit. But then they will quickly realize they are getting nowhere and abandon the plan. So they in this instance might be doing this trick or scam with 4 different couples they know. And in this instance they might mark this person down for not being willing to take the bait. But the person before them seems reluctant but possibly willing with enough manipulation. The narcissist will either write down these notes or make mental notes of such things. Just like a machine. And they keep trying different things, making notes along the way. Until they have 1 or 2 people that are out of a handful that fall for the manipulation. And they get the end result they want. The same can be if the narcissist is trying to date you and several other people. And the same is if you have narcissists in high up positions. Do you really think these narcissists? Do you think they want to see you happy? Sam Vaknin spoke about in one of his recent videos, where he talked about how miserable the narcissist is inside, where they don't want to be alive anymore. But what saves them is their narcissistic persona. And what drives the narcissist, which is getting narcissistic supply from others. So when you think about this fact, do you think if a narcissist or narcissists were in control of some of the movies or television shows you see, do you think they are going to make shows uplifting and showing a healthy family unit and family values? No. Not very likely. However, what they will do is they might make shows in a slow and manipulative manner that make you rethink how you have relationships with people. And though this new way is toxic and leads to utter dysfunction, they might package it in such a way that seems happy and fun. But then you get polls that come out about record highs of depression, and divorce, and broken homes. What do you think the narcissist will think when they see and hear such things? Possibly they might be thinking, "My plan is working." You see, if the narcissist can't be happy, they don't want you and you to be happy. Have you noticed even having the simple ability to have a chance to meet someone to have a relationship with doesn't really seem to be on the table anymore? And I say the word seems very carefully. But doesn't it seem that way? Well, if narcissists don't want a happy and healthy relationship for you, if they were an influencer or in a position of power, why would they do the things to make it so you had a healthy and happy relationship? And if they are doing things to get it to where it's almost impossible for you to have such healthy and happy relationships, how did they get such things to happen? How did they get the masses to go along with their program? There is nothing new under the sun. What the narcissist did to you in your life and in your situation is likely the same as what the narcissists that have the power and money to affect millions if not billions are more than likely using the same playbook as your narcissist spouse or so-called narcissist friend. And just like your narcissist spouse or so-called friend, they likely test and make notes along the way with how well their plan is working or not working. So just like the narcissist in your life, they can either rework their plan and try something else, or they can abandon what is going on and move on to other people to attempt to run their games on. This is so important to know, because when you realize that your reactions to things are being catalogued and notated and studied, you will then have the power to do something about it. Something positive. Something that benefits you and not the narcissist. Look. There are still good people in the world. But narcissism has and is affecting a great many out there. And there are a lot of narcissist lights out there. Those that aren't complete narcissists. But those that are going the way of narcissism. Just because they want to go along to get along. But unlike the narcissist, deep in their spirit they know something is wrong. Again, when I was watching that Catfish show, with these evil people with Joker-like grins and dead eyes, saying they did what they did to others for their entertainment and for fun, I asked myself, what if these people were billionaires and had power and influence? Would they try to catfish the entire world? If you took one of these really disturbed individuals from this show Catfish and if you gave them a large amount of power, would they try to catfish or manipulate people on a grand scale? And the answer I keep coming back with is yes. Yes. They would. They would do it 100 times over. They would do it until they were old, gray and passed away. I think if when you run into people like this in your everyday life, or if you catch a glimpse of them on such a show like Catfish, ask yourself, what would these people do if they had $1 billion or $1 trillion? The answer I keep coming back with is what they are doing now, just on a bigger scale. All the while cataloging and measuring how you are taking their mistreatment. It's completely amazing. And not in a good way. Well, that's all I have for now. Please leave your comments in the comments section below. Because the more we share, the more we grow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And don't forget to like and share as well. And if you would like to support even further, you will find a link in my Patreon in the low bar. Well, with that being said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.